What's up, everybody? My name is Brad and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back with a brand new book review for you guys, and I'm actually going to be talking about a book that just came out today on July 5th, the day I'm filming this. So tomorrow you'll be watching this on the 6th when it's uploaded. So for you, the book will have come out yesterday. So ignore all the confusion. But today I'm going to be talking about The Law by Jim Butcher. This is his brand new novella. It's book number 17 and a half in his ongoing Dresden Files series. And it was earlier in the year, I think January, maybe February, but earlier in the year I finished up Battleground, the most recent novel in the series. So I was all caught up except for the short story collections with the Dresden Files. So I was excited for new Dresden, jump back into that world. And I listened to this one on audiobook. And honestly, I don't know if it's available in print or ebook yet, but I listened to it on audiobook, and it's a short one. It's probably about a fifth of the size of the normal novels. It was short. It was only about 3.5 hours long. And this one, instead of the normal narrator, James Marsters, doing it, it was actually narrated by the author himself, Jim Butcher. And I thought he did a pretty good job with it. I'm used to James Marsters and all the voices and everything he does for those characters. But Jim Butcher himself, he did a pretty good job with it. I wasn't taken out of the story listening to somebody else voice these characters. It was a lot of fun listening to the author and getting to listen to what he thinks the characters would say and how they would say it and their voices and stuff. It was cool to do that. But with The Law, like I said, it's a novella, it's short, and this one does take place about a month or so after the events of Battleground happened in the big battle of Chicago, those devastating events. So we're about a month removed from that, and Harry Dresden himself, he's still dealing with the fallout from that. He's still dealing with his grief, still dealing with the losses that he suffered, and plural losses in the last book. And don't worry, I'm not going to go into any major spoilers or anything like that for this book or the series in general. But he's dealing with these losses, and he almost kind of has this PTSD in a way. He keeps seeing these sort of flickers, these flash images repeating over and over in his head about, one of his friends that passed away in the last book. But he can't sit and just wallow in his grief and his pity. He is dependent upon now. There's lots of people that depend on Harry Dresden, that count on him to do what he needs to do to help keep them safe and provide them with shelter and food and all that kind of stuff. So he can't just sit back and wallow in his grief like he would like to do. More so now than ever, a lot of people depend on him. So he's not trying to forget what happened, forget the people who passed away, forget his pain and his trauma and his grief, but he's trying to move past it in a productive way, still being reverent and respectful of the people that he lost, but also moving on and continuing on with his life in the way that I think the people they did lose would want him to do, and protecting the people that he's supposed to protect now and seeing to their well-being instead of just feeling sorrow and sad for himself. So The Law, it's a much smaller, much more scaled down story than what we have gotten recently with the past few Dresden Files books. The stakes are much, much lower in this one. There's no world-ending apocalyptic event that is about to happen. But there's still importance to the story, with Harry especially, in sticking to his values and his principles and his beliefs and upholding the types of justice that he believes in, while it being a much smaller, self-contained story. So he's approached by this young woman who's looking for a miracle, and she is being sued by her ex-pimp for damages that he's trying to recover from this business that she has started while he was in prison, that he lays claim to, that he is actually a business partner with her, and he's trying to collect on that money, but she doesn't have that money to give him. So Harry, is he going to step up? Is he going to get out of his sort of grief and his pity and everything and step up and be the miracle that this young lady needs and that she deserves? You've probably heard that saying before, that you have to walk before you can run, and that's sort of how I felt about this novella. And I think it's fair to say that in the last book, Battleground, not only was Dresden, but we the readers, we were all knocked off of our collective feet. And with this story, this gives Dresden and ourselves, the readers, a chance to sort of stand up, catch our breath, dust ourselves off, take stock of our surroundings, what's going on, while dealing with this small case, sort of getting back into the swing of things like we are normally used to dealing with. It really gives us the opportunity to See Dresden's mindset, see how he's coping, what he's dealing with, but not only him, but the city of Chicago itself, sort of the rebuilding process, the return to normalcy, as normal as they can get, and the residents, how they've dealt with this deadly supernatural conflict that happened in the last book. What is the mindset sort of the city in general? We get bits and pieces of how everyone is sort of coping and processing, Dresden, the city, and the residents with what happened in the last book while dealing with this brand new, smaller, sort of baby step case to get back into the big leagues, the big swing of thing. We know what's coming in the next book, something big and epic is going to happen. So this is a baby step leading towards that. So that's all I'm going to say about the plot and the novella. Like I said, it was short. It was just over 3.5 hours on audiobook. So I'll allow you to discover the rest of the story for yourself. But you may be thinking to yourself, asking yourself, is this required reading for the Dresden Files series? And for me, in my opinion, I'm going to say no, I don't think so. Although I did enjoy the story, and I will throw out the caveat that there are 2 new characters introduced who seem to be pretty powerful, and I would sort of be shocked if we don't see them again later on in the series. So if you want to find out what their origins are, a bit of their backstory, what their relationship is with Dresden, then you should check this out. But also, if you're looking for just a quick, fun romp with some supernatural hijinks, a chance to check back in with Dresden, see where his headspace is at, see some familiar faces along the way, all after this big conflict that happened within the last book, then yes, absolutely, this is required reading for you. The Law by Jim Butcher gives fans and Dresden a bit of respite, a chance to catch our breath with something a bit lighter in tone, a bit of a smaller case, as Dresden is attempting to take the fight off of the streets and put it into the hands of the law before inevitably we know that he's going to be thrown back into the thick of things with probably world-ending events whenever the next novel comes out. But yeah, that's my review for The Law by Jim Butcher, book number 17.5 in the Dresden Files series. I did enjoy my time with it. My only real complaint is I just wish it was longer. I wish it was a full-length novel instead of just a novella. But I gave it 3.5 stars. For what it was, for the length it was a very fun and entertaining little story. But that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. If you've made it this far in the video, let me know down in the comments below who your favorite villain is in the Dresden Files series. But that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you for spending your time with me. Again, my name is Brad, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.